Yo, what up guys? iReapism here, and welcome back to another video, guys. This is RaZe Dev, like what's happening to RaZe Part 2. If you haven't seen the first video, I recommend 100% to go and look at it because it's very important, and I'm just expanding off that video. So if you don't know what's going on, check out my initial thoughts in that video, please, and then go ahead and come back here. And I sincerely mean that. Like, don't watch this video if you haven't seen that one. Like really, it's very important that you do. But anyways, guys, right now there's just footage of Free For All Badline, which I really enjoyed playing actually. And I had good footage, and this will be, I'll just be commentating over it. So there's something to watch to keep you entertained while I go ahead and tell you guys what's going on. So to expand on before, the plugin versus vanilla is the idea I really want to talk to you guys about. And essentially, it's not as easy as it is to just, code in a plugin version. Like, what's the advantages, what's the disadvantages. And I've mentioned this many times, but I'm going to recap it right here, and I'm going to expand on it today. So basically, the vanilla version, map distribution is very easy. You just include your map, people download it, whatever. If I have it on a server and I want to distribute the plugin, well, people are going to have access to the RaZe code, which is not good because people can find exploits or whatever. Just, you want to be able to keep your information contained. Like, let's say if you have people link their accounts or any sort of username, password related stuff, you can't release the plugin because they'll figure out how to bypass that stuff or whatever. It's very important the way it works. And if I have auto update or whatever and it asks for updates, anyways, it's not a good idea to distribute the plugin. Second thing is, if you want to run the server on a plugin, let's say I just give it to anybody, you can't just run it. Like, you need to know how to run a spigot server, which isn't even like available as it is. You need to extract it from something. It's very vague, it's not clear, and that wouldn't work. Distributing the plugin would not work. Now, if I put it on a network, there's even more issues. And the issue with RaZe is that my target audience is the competitive Minecraft community, which isn't really there at the moment. Like, I have the competitive MOBA wanting Minecraft community. Like, that's what I mean by that. There's definitely competitive community, but I use Minecraft as a medium in RaZe. So when we're talking about using, targeting the competitive community, I just mean competitive players may be interested in a MOBA. But I don't use any Minecraft mechanics, so the onboarding or the development in which I give the users or how to play RaZe and stuff is very, very important, and if I fail at doing that, people will lose interest very easily. Now, the thing is, running a server is also taking into consideration, charges related to it, who's paying for it, and all that stuff. And there's another thing about this scenario. I'm gonna be talking a lot with examples because it's easier for me. And I had like a 3-hour conversation with my buddies about this, so we're going to get into that later in this video. But I had a conversation with them for 3 hours, so we talked about so much I can't really just put it in like a 20-minute video, for example. But basically, guys, the example contains this. So, let's say the server is running on the network. I've successfully made RaZe in the plugin version. Now how about this? You see 2 people online and you join the server. That does not mean that you get to play RaZe because you need 7 other people to play. And it's required at the moment. You need 10, it's 5v5 and there's a requirement of players. And that's a huge issue because you can't leave something like that out of consideration. Now assume we have 70 players online, people are playing RaZe. For the people that are new, which that will always be the case, the people are new to RaZe, in order to grab them, in order to keep them playing, that's very difficult to do because I don't have there's no negative for leaving the server. Like, take a look at this. I'm playing on the Hypixel server, and, you know, I'm not winning all the games, or, you know, people are being toxic, or I'm not having fun, anything, any of these reasons, other reasons, and I decide to hop off the server. There's no penalty for doing that. But how about in RaZe? Like, what would how would I penalize the player? Like, what's too much, what's too little? That is something I could figure out, but that's just one issue of many. And getting a player base for RaZe is one of the most overestimated things I've had in this project. Not even as much as, you know, me failing to recognize the amount of work that would go into the behind the scenes progression command blocks, but overestimating how am I going to get people to play this. It's so different. It's not really prevalent where people make games using Minecraft as a medium. It's not as prevalent. It's not as prevalent as making Minecraft maps, like PvP maps, you know? There's definitely a lot of examples out there, but it's very hard to do. And especially that RaZe is a requirement of 9 other players, including yourself. It's very hard to get the player base. Now, I've done a lot of thought. We've talked in a group about this. The people we've talked with, Jasper, Jojo the Monkey, and Shade Kirby 321. I've talked to them because those are the most diverse opinions I've got in terms of RaZe. And I put them together in a call. We talked for 3 hours, and I've learned a lot. And basically, I want to condense as much as I can, and I've come to a new conclusion. And I will be working on RaZe, but not right now. The idea is I want to create a map where I can target a player base. If I can successfully target a player base, I want to see if I can pull that off. And I'm going to be doing that with the 7327 sequel. And I think it's a good idea because it's a map that I've made a while ago. And I've tried, you know, I feature Creeptle on that map. I did a lot of work on it, but I think it could be improved. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to redo it in a way, and it shouldn't take too long because it's going to be a very simple map. I use Minecraft not really as a medium, but I do use it as a medium, but I also use its base mechanics as hunger and bow mechanics, sword mechanics, health mechanics, hunger mechanics, etc., etc. Protection, all of that. In RaZe, I don't use any of that, so I have to reinvent the wheel. That is something I want to talk about later. But what it really comes down to is I will be working on 7327 the sequel. I'll release videos every so often regarding the development of it. And that's how it's going to be, I guess. And until 1.9 Minecraft comes out, then I will revisit RaZe and I will redo the redstone. Why am I going to redo the redstone? Well, let's not even talk about that right now, but that's the decision I've made. Basically, we didn't even talk about why I'm completely dropping the plugin version. I'm not completely dropping the idea, but I'm negating it right now. And what do I mean by that is, well, it's kind of out of the question. I have to somehow get an idea of what RaZe is going to be played by, who is it going to be played by, and how interested are the players, and is it too hard? Is the game complicated? And, you know, I can sit here and tell you it isn't. You know, I use a lot of Minecraft related stuff like snowballs for projectiles. The terminology for crowd control, or CC, is very easy to understand. Even if you don't play MOBAs, like if I said stun, you would know that means a player that can't move. Or if I said the word slow, you would know that you move slower. Something like that. But there's another term, silence. You might not know what that is, but it's not difficult to explain. So basically, guys, what it really comes down to is I will revisit RaZe in 1.9. 1.9 is coming pretty soon. Don't think, that's a long way from now. About a few months from now, 1.9 will come out, and that'll give me plenty of time to remake RaZe and make it in a way that I understand everything about it, and I can kind of remake it a lot faster using 1.9. There's a lot of things that will enable me to make it really efficient. The new command blocks, you know, are just really good. Like, I will be able to make RaZe so efficient with 1.9. And if you, and this is another tip, guys, if you intend on making a map in vanilla and you switch to making a code version of it, don't expect it to just work. You have to take a lot into consideration, and I learned that the hard way. Not really. I didn't really put so much time into a RaZe plugin with me and Jasper, but it's definitely something to consider. Now, I told you in the video after, or my first development video of 7327 the sequel, that I will be taking the comments that you left on any of those videos at the point of recording this audio over this Badline free-for-all. That will be taking the comments and talking about them with you guys. So the first comment is very simple. It's by Nifty Rifty Guy, and he says, so this is what has been going on in RaZe. Happy face. So kind of he understands the idea. Not much to talk about, but I want to include every comment because there was only 2. The other comment is very interesting, and it gets to a point where I'm going to cover. Working with a large amount of command blocks is very tedious. Why is it tedious, you might ask? Well, guys, it's every code, every little line of code, every thing that you check is individual command blocks. You have to keep right-clicking, right-clicking, right-clicking. It's very tedious. He's right. I'd recommend using a Notepad++ file with Minecraft command syntax highlighting and or Crush Pixels command block groups mod for better organization. I've tried using Notepad++ and I've tried using the syntax highlighting on Sublime and on Neutron Drive, and it doesn't help that much for me. Programming is easier in 2D than it is in 3D. That is true. It's easier, but it didn't help me, you know, with other issues I've had that are unrelated, I guess. But so it's not really the issue of the syntax highlighting or Notepad++. It was the issue with me, really. Also, I've watched every one of your RaZe dev videos, and I really, really look forward to playing it. You've really done an amazing job. Thank you so much, Paper MC. Thank you so much for writing that comment. Thank you for taking the time to even say something like that. That means a lot. You've watched every single one of my videos? Are you serious? That's insane. You're probably watching this right now, and you're like, wow, I'm mentioning this video? Yeah, you are, because that means a lot to me. That means so much to me. That people are actually willing to see the development of my progress. And honestly, I don't want to make it sound demeaning, but that was a little bit misleading because I didn't take in consideration people that weren't watching the development. I only considered the people that were watching the development. And if you want to make the map popular to other people, some of them are not going to watch your videos, and I didn't take that in consideration. So yeah, guys, this might have not been the most informative, but I did cover what I kind of want to talk about, and that's what I'm deciding to do with RaZe. So I'm going to revisit on 1.9, redo the idea, probably. I'm going to redo its concepts as well. Because the 5v5 mechanic is too much of a requirement for using, you know, too much of a requirement for that type of game, as far as I can tell with the group I've talked about. And that's what I want to end off with. Thank you so much to Shade Kirby 321, Jab Flap, and Jojo the Monkey. Thank you so much, guys. We've spent 3 hours with me talking, and we talked about the issues. Every little problem, guys, I promise, was mentioned. And we had an excellent discussion. We had a lot of different opinions, and at the end, we came to one conclusion. And that was, you know, to stay with the vanilla version if you want RaZe, but you might have to redo some of the objectives and ideas of it because it seems very hard. Now, you guys can argue, of course, that I've never tested RaZe, so therefore we can't make assumptions. But we don't want to. We have to make assumptions because we're gambling a lot of time. I've gambled 1.5 years, guys. I don't want to gamble anymore. I'm tired of gambling time. I've gambled time with 7327 and it failed. Okay? So, I had enough gambling. So, we have to make assumptions based on what we know. Fair enough? If you have any questions, let me know in the comments anything that if I wasn't clear enough, I would make a part 3 video if I was not clear enough. But I'm going to leave it as it is right now. Enjoy the rest of the game. Have a nice day, guys. Peace out now.